Want to learn the biological effects of cannibalism? Of course you do. And of course it always has to do with prions. Prions? Prions? Yes, it is finally time to address the prion pronunciation. Or prion pronunciation. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I was wrong about how to pronounce it. And that's on me. As whenever I learned about prion diseases, it's actually prion diseases, I learned from a professor who also pronounced it prion disease. And just how I preach that scientists shouldn't use only anecdotal evidence in order to form an opinion, I made a mistake and used anecdotal evidence in order to form an opinion. The pronunciation is actually prion, and despite the internet itself in different articles stating that you can pronounce it both ways, in academic documents and settings, prion is the only way you should be pronouncing it if you're talking about this infectious misfolded protein. Because a prion is a type of bird. And the reason they have the same spelled name but differently pronounced name can be best explained by Stanley Prusiner, the guy who coined the term prion. As in an interview with the American Academy of Neurology back in 2017, before you say anything, yes, he was alive in 2017 and is still alive today at the age of 84, prion research does not date as far back as you might think. Dr. Prusiner answered a question regarding why he chose the name prion, in which he basically said that at one point he looked in a dictionary and saw it in there, with the definition describing a type of bird, and the pronunciation being prion. When talking in the interview about coming across this word, he states, "Right," and I said, well, you know, this really doesn't matter. Lots of words have more than one meaning. There will be two pronunciations. If I'm right, this will be the number one definition, and the bird will continue to live on in oblivion. He then talks about how it's not worth worrying about the two different definitions for the same word, while emphasizing that it is still pronounced prion. Not to mention, when I looked at any of the dictionaries that are available to the public, every pronunciation of the infectious misfolded protein was in fact prion, with prion being designated specifically for the bird definition. So with that, I will be better in the future and continue by saying prion disease instead of prion disease, as I have now formed a bad habit that I need to break.